I think what it comes down to for us in this whiteboard software is that we make sure that we're using it effectively. One of the concerns when we were buying them is that it's just going to become an expensive whiteboard where teachers, all they do is write on it. We were trying to avoid that, include things like multimedia, links to worksheets or websites, trying to get away from the linear PowerPoint. PowerPoint is very linear, you go from one slide to another, but this can be responsive. You can import, for example, a picture of students' work. Somebody could do some work, you take a picture, you drag it into whiteboard, and then you can annotate it, talk about it. So here are 3 slides that just look at standard form, taking standard index notation, whatever you call it, and turning it into something with a little bit of relevance rather than just a series of numbers. Something called Atomium in Belgium, with a web page, a picture, where it came from. Of course, you can add to this, you can add other pictures, you can add worksheets that might go with this. If I insert a new slide here at the bottom, that's not what I wanted a square or a rectangle even. And Lisa's response. So you would get Lisa's work, you would take a photograph of it, or you can ask her if she's working digitally, she can send it to you, you can take screenshots, and you can put it on here and you can talk about exactly what Lisa's work looks like. You can do the same sort of thing with YouTube videos, SWF videos, etc. Bringing it into here. And I think the final step for us then is how do we get this work and how do we give it to the students? Because that's what it's about. It's about digitizing work, not so that we can lock it in a cupboard somewhere or a digital folder. It's so that it can be out there, so that we can revisit it, we can learn from it, we can add to it. The way to do that is go to File and Export. You've got a number of options. Web page is useful if you've got your own web page and you manage the back end and you can upload files and folders and links. Unfortunately, if you work with Google Sites or perhaps things like Weebly, that's not really a viable option. Image files is quite useful, but what it does is exports a series of static PNG files. If I just export this to my new folder, what you'll see is in my new folder I get exactly the images that you could see, but they're entirely static. Now that would include normally things like your annotations and the students' pictures. Other options are PDF, similar to images. It creates a static document, so media and voice, etc., that's not going to be carried through in a PDF. But what it does do is it puts it all in one document. The students can put that document maybe on their phone or iPad, computer, whatever they're using. So that's how we get it as part of our workflow. That's how we get the document from our students, from our computers to our students. And the last thing to remember is that the students can have access to this software too. So as soon as we get that set up, then we can just share the raw file. So File and Save, just as you would with any other PowerPoint or Microsoft Word. Finally, if you think it's a really nice product, what you can do is send it to Smart Exchange. Basically a place for teachers to share resources that they built. Here it is. So for example, mathematics. Here you'll see the option to share a resource. Let's search for trigonometry. And a few things come up that teachers have already made that we can just take and improve. Okay, so there you go. Notebook software in about 20 minutes.